Is our team rock stars over the
kind of stuff they make together. So the idea is like really open space. It's super flexible. All of the desks are on wheels, and so we kind of like we can form up in teams.
Hey guys.
So the areas, the stuff on your right over here, those are all our full-time faculty offices. So we've got teachers but all the different departments have places for our faculty too. So the idea is if you need help.
You would have thought you lived this luxurious.
The focus of the second year of your master's degree, and also the kind of the second half of your undergraduate. There was a big conference here about using games in classrooms. So usually they're out there in the kind of bright sunny area. Today we're a little sequestered in the small room, but they're still working on their games, and that's the best part. So those are actually the games some of the games that you will play during playtesting. Once we finish this tour, they'll be outside. You'll get a chance to see what they make. We like making games with kind of weird interfaces. 2 feet like below us, and it's all so you can run cables and cooling in them, and it's like all like super secure because like 25 years ago this was like the kind of backup files for all the stuff from the stock market. So that's why the floors are kind of like that. And laser cutters and drill presses and a bunch of stuff because not all of our games are digital games. Sometimes we make like sometimes people will 3D print pieces for board games, or they'll make a sign for their game, or they'll work on a cabinet and modify the front of it so they can have their name on it and something like that. So this area lets us make different kinds of stuff and just kind of opens up new places, new ways of thinking about games, new types of creativity. There's a class called Costumes as Controllers, and so you learn sewing, and you learn ways to take like physical interfaces and turn them into game controllers. It's pretty awesome. It's brand new. So yeah, that's cool. And this is also a big benefit of being on this floor with different departments. We wouldn't necessarily invest in a 3D printer or in like a full soundstage or a black box theater as a video game design department, but because we have different departments are here, they'll build this stuff out. And so if you want to do voice acting for your game, or if you want to record music for it, or if you want to learn all these different tools to not just make games, but make the music for games, well, we've got that stuff on the floor. Sure, yeah. I mean, areas where we focus on, usually during the year, obviously it's quiet, our students aren't here, but during the school year, these are the desks in the areas where our students are out here working. So 5 to 7, every Thursday, you guys can come back later on, and we take our games out, we put them on these tables, and we say, hey, what do you think? Can you try this out? Does this interface? Does this control scheme work? Is it too hard? Is it too easy? Does the sound fun? Does this sprite need to change? So we all kind of spend time with those games and improve them as a community. So that's what happens here. And then over here, there's a couple of things going on here. So this area has more of those arcade cabinets. These are actually some of the newer ones, so 2 things. Over here, this one's Killer Queen. This is a 5-on-5 arcade cabinet game. We have a show every year called No Quarter, where we commission people to make games for a public space, for a gallery. So people made this game, which I'll show you how to play, or I'll open it up for you, but not yet. So hold on. So the cool thing about this game is this was originally a field game. So this was something you played like a recess game. And there's a festival called Come Out and Play in New York that just happened. It is a yearly festival for games that you play outside, like street games. So they had that game, that was fun, and then our faculty said, hey, could you turn that into a video game for this public show we have called No Quarter? They said sure. People loved it, and then they said, well, maybe we can take this arcade cabinet thing and make that a way to sell the game. So now this is up in bars and arcades in Chicago and Portland and New York and Montreal, and there's like a kind of a bowling league around this like our Killer Queen game. So that's super fun, you get that shot. Over here, some of our faculty are working on another arcade cabinet there. And then behind me is our video game library. So the idea here is that if you want to make games, then you should have an experience playing a lot of games. If you want to make movies, you should know good movies and bad movies. If you want to make music, you should listen to all kinds of music. Well, it's the same idea here, where we want to give you access to all kinds of different games. So if you want to make a game about, I don't know, like a fighting game, well, there's like, I don't know, geez, probably 50 or more fighting games in here. So you can try out different styles and different attempts at how you make those games. There's also a course we have called Games 101, which is a pretty cool course. So Games 101 is foundational.
The buttons, like since these are programmed originally from laptops, how you can transition from the laptop's keyboard to those buttons.
Yeah, there's a little board, there's a little Arduino controller, and a program. There's a couple of different programs you can run, like Joy to Key is one of them. So basically, when you press the button, it sends a signal to the board sends a signal back to the computer says, oh, what they actually meant was, even though you pressed a button, it translates it as like the letter G on the keyboard. And so you map the letter G to fire, and so when you press a button, the computer is thinking you're pressing G on the keyboard, and so that way you're kind of map those things together. So yeah, Joy to Key is the name of the thing.
Join a key?
Joy to Key.
Join?
Like joystick to
Joy to key.
keyboard is the name of that program, and a little breadboard. Yeah. Library, yeah. It's a cool space to be. In addition to Playtest Thursday, we have lots of events. Your friends, you can bring your family, you can just bring yourself. Alright, so I think you'll enjoy Killer Queen. It's pretty weird. So I kind of inspired them, so you can try that. And then behind you,
on the yellow team.
You're the queen.
yeah, I mean,
So we're going against them,
press
guys.
A, if you press jump, it'll get you in there.
I mean, there's only one function. You just need to jump.
Yeah, so then there's
Playing games. This is NYU Game Center.
And if you're a little guy, a little bear, and you pick up a berry and you move it into one of these areas with the kind of the ghost areas, see where there's like an open shell, like a shadow. If you take a berry and bring it to that area, it'll turn you into a different kind of player. They'll give you different abilities. So you can ride the snail, you can fill the berries up, or you can kill the other queen 3 times.
Wait, what do you do?
Ride the snail. Fill the berries into those holes.
How do you fill the berries?
You just can't take a grape and... Alright, they seem to be doing better than us, so let's go over here.
Yeah, you can still.
Oh, there you go, Blue Queen. All right, now Queen, kill the other guy on the snail. No. Just run into him. You gotta get him up a little bit. There you go. Okay.
That's not even.
Got it.
So now, yellow team, you guys start in the middle here. So you respawn in the center there. The queen only has 3 lives, but everyone else has unlimited lives.
Who's the queen?
Queen is the one in the center. You have to get a
I
bumper.
know you're yellow team, but.
Wait, so the queen is the one jumping with the sword?
Yeah, the queen's the one with the sword, and she can fly.
So I'm reusing the cards at the street. This is a city, so this would be like our neighborhood. You know, sorry, this is they all do something. The copper, these are cockroaches. Fires for vermin. So this, the treasure is vermin. When you play this, you get 2.
What are we watching, Josh?
We're watching the Internationals here. It's a big Dota 2 tournament. It's happening in Seattle right now.
Oh, sweet. Dota 2.
A video game where people beat each other up. We got Cloud9 against Virtus Pro. It's a bunch of Russians versus some American nut jobs.
MOBAs, man.
Yeah.
Massive online battle arenas. What a crazy, awesome thing. 10 champions, 2 teams, 5 vs 5, in an elite match for glory and honor. Awesome.
Perfect.
Dota 2, yeah.
How much do they win?
Winner of this tournament makes $11 million.
How much?
11 million.
That goes to the team though, so it's split up between them.
Split up, yeah, just no biggie. How long does this game last?
Anywhere between, I believe the shortest game of this tournament so far was 16 minutes, and the longest games are like over 100 minutes. So.
Sheesh. All right, thank you guys. Thank you. We got Jonathan here. Nice to see here.
Yep, we do.